Right, only need to do one more of these. I actually have no idea if there's a calling card for this. Is there? That's my final one, either way. Oh, yep, there is. Okay, cool. I was worried for a second there that there wasn't going to be one for Nebula, but there is. This shit took for fucking ever. There it is, my 33rd Nebula camo in Black Ops 6, and the calling card to go along with it. That's actually a super cool calling card. I'm going to actually equip that. After about 4 or 5 months and lots of AFK hours and just hours in general, I finally unlocked the Nebula camo in Black Ops 6 Zombies. Now, I'm running short on time here, but I'm gonna see if, just to showcase the weapon and talk about my experience and what the fuck ever. I figured I would run through one of the Easter eggs in this game with my Nebula camos, so I think I'm gonna do Terminus, since I've already done Liberty Falls on my channel. I did it with the Maelstrom, and that gun was disgusting. But yeah, as you can see here, we're going to be going in with the Olympia, and if I can get the Grakovas from the box, I probably also want to do that just because these guns don't have that much range, and I know the pistols Pack-a-Punched are like really stupid. So, but yeah, before I get into this, if you do enjoy this video and you want to help support the channel, then leaving a like and subscribing would be very much appreciated. Just going to run through this Easter egg and talk about my experience with this camo grind, because it is very different from the multiplayer one and from even last year's Zombies grind. So about 4 to 5 months ago, I got Dark Matter in the multiplayer portion of Black Ops 6, and it took me about 3 months of playing that game. Obviously on and off, not like straight, that would be insane, but it took me about 3 months to complete the Dark Grind camo in multiplayer. So this one being 4 to 5 months, I expected this one to take longer just because the requirements are a lot more time consuming and not even harder. I think this camo grind is actually way easier than Dark Matter, but it definitely did take more time. Obviously if you look at the upload of the videos of when the game came out, when I got Dark Matter, and when I started playing zombies in this game, and getting Nebula here now. Using the Olympia here that they added recently, I love this gun so much. I mean, it's basically the 725 like I mentioned in the last video, but I just love double barrel shotguns. I just love shotguns. I know the ASG was considered probably the best shotgun in the game for a while until the Maelstrom came out, and they also buffed the Pack-a-Punch shotgun just overall, but I don't know, I never really liked the ASG all that much. It was strong, obviously, because you could spam the thing, but especially now with the buffed shotguns just in general, I like the Olympia. Well, the Olympia is a special weapon, but you know what I mean. I like the Maelstrom and I almost call it the Howard, which is odd because I never played Cold War, but the Marine, Jesus Christ, shotgun more than the ASG. But yeah, I guess I should answer the question whether or not is it worth it to go for the Nebula camo in Black Ops 6. I made a video like this for Borealis, for the Modern Warfare 3 Zombies camo grind, and I figured I would do a similar thing here, because why not? I will say, just purely based on the actual camo that you get at the end, it is super worth it to do it just for that. It's basically like Borealis from last year, except it has pink and red in it as well, and it's also reactive. I don't know if you noticed, it's easier to notice on an automatic or whatever, but the camo changes slightly the more you shoot your gun. It's very cool. But in terms of the camo itself, in relation to the grind you have to do to get it, I do think this is a very worthwhile camo to get, and these things are gonna destroy the generator. How about you don't do that? Now, in terms of the amount of time you have to sink into it and some of the challenges that you have to do that are kind of annoying, that's a different story entirely. I guess how I would describe it is this camo is worth getting if you have the time to sink into it. Now, I should say I did not do the Liberty Falls directing mode strat for the entire grind, nor did I use the Citadel oil trap critical kill cheese as well. For the military camos and the gold camo and the afterlives, I basically just played the games regularly on whatever map I wanted. But for Opal and Nebula, obviously I went to the I did do the Liberty Falls strat with the Manglers, and then for Nebula I did it with the elite enemies. And this grind does take long. It's not hard, like I said, but there are steps that either require you to kill specific enemies that don't spawn super often unless you go into directed mode, and then there are steps like the military camos that just take forever. It just takes forever. It takes at least an hour to go from 0 headshots to, what is it 2,000 or 1,000? I think it's 2,000 or something ridiculous like that. And then getting the gold camo it's just easy. It's just I believe it's rapid kills, 10 rapid kills, like 15 times, or maybe those numbers are reversed, but either way, it's not hard. It doesn't take very long. And then the opal camos, fucking opal camos. I really hope that for the next game, which is Black Ops 7, which is obviously going to have zombies, that they don't have challenges that require you to kill specific enemies that very rarely spawn, because then we're going to get a situation like with this game where the most efficient way to get the camos is to go into directed mode and repeat the same round over and over again, which I'm glad that they kept that in the game, just because it would make grinding this camo way more annoying than it is. But on the other hand, I feel like it makes like the process of getting it, you know, the way that it looks, not super appealing. Like in my mind, in like a perfect world or whatever, you'd be able to grind the camos just by regularly playing the game. And I get that, you know, the mastery grind like this is meant to be done over the course of the entire year. I believe it's like, what, how many more months until the game comes out? It's like estimated that the game is going to come out in like November. So I still have July, August, September, October, November. I still have like 4 months. So it took me more than half the year to get both of these camos. But so for example, for the opal camos, you know, the opal camo and the nebula camo are like the ones where it's like, okay, you should probably go into directed mode to make this more efficient, because for the opal camos, you have to kill like special zombies. So like manglers, or I don't know if regular like abominations or mimics or stuff like that count. I know manglers count and doppelgasts count. I remember flip-flopping between Citadel and mutating zombies into doppelgasts, which was kind of efficient, honestly, and doing Liberty Falls directed mode. But even on Citadel, I think it was still more efficient to just go into directed mode on Liberty. But anyways, that step would take forever to do, quote unquote, naturally, just because special zombies like that usually don't spawn until like round at least like 11, 10, and they don't spawn in frequent numbers until like round 30 or something crazy. I remember when the game first came out, special zombies would spawn like crazy. You know, obviously, if you've played this game, you probably saw videos of like 10 bajillion manglers spawning on Liberty Falls, but they toned that down very quickly. So unless you wanted to like naturally progress a game to round 30 to start grinding for your camo, yeah, going on Citadel and progressing to at least around like 10 to mutate doppelgas, or going on to Liberty Falls to repeat a mangler round. And then for Nebula, I'm pretty sure elite zombies are, I'm not sure if elite zombies are specifically the like red variants of those special zombies, or whether it's just like abominations and amalgams and stuff like that in general, because either way, the most efficient way to get Nebulas is to do, once again, directed mode on Liberty Falls, and to repeat the step where you summon the HVTs, which that was still like, that was really, really fast. The longest parts, like I've always mentioned, you know, whenever I talk about this camo grind, is grinding the military camos. It's 2,000 headshots. That's ridiculous. But anyways, the 2,000 headshots and the opal camos, which is kill 20 special zombies, which I feel like that could have been reduced to like 5 or maybe even 10. And, you know, people would have gotten the gist of what that was without making it take so long. But yeah, basically the overall strat for, you know, doing any gun on any step would be to load into a map with whatever gun, get that gun completed to wherever you could up until that point, and then do all of the wall guns on a map, which for 99% of people, it was do all the wall guns on Citadel, unless you went out of your way to play different maps. Did I say Citadel? I meant Liberty Falls. And then once you ran out of wall guns to do, you would spin the box and hopefully get a majority of the guns that you also need to do. And, you know, coming up to the end of the grind, while I was, you know, doing my nebulas on Liberty Falls, like I said, doing the nebulas during that step in the Easter egg is like super easy. You can get like multiple guns done in like an hour. But as you start to run out of wall guns and then guns in their mystery box, you spend a lot of your time spinning it and getting guns that are not the guns that you're trying to do, especially if they're like older guns or like vanilla guns. I believe the box is like awaited to have guns that are newer, you know, come up more often. At least that's what it feels like. You know, I'm seeing lots of Ladras and LC10s and things like that. Although I feel like I got a majority of the guns that I needed from the box, but I definitely did not get the Olympia or the nail gun like ever, which were like the last few guns that I actually needed to do. Yeah, this gun with Deadshot is like super good with the augment where you get headshots and you get a bullet back, because that can like just chain into itself like multiple times, and you can just spam any gun really, but with shotguns especially, it's like really, really stupid. You can see there, I shot way more than 4 times. It's very cool. Now, I'm probably not going to go into the boss fight until at least like round 25, so I can get like double tap and stuff like that. But it's kind of annoying because this just got up here and I actually needed to go up, back down, and then up. So whatever, I guess. Does this have to cool down? It does. That's annoying. But yeah, just to summarize, this grind is not, again, it's not very hard. It's just very time consuming, mostly with the military camos and the opals. I remember for Modern Warfare 3 zombies that there were camo challenges to kill like specific zombies. I don't ever remember it being nearly as much as like 20. I am now getting flashbacks to running around doing random contracts to try and get like manglers and mimics and things like that. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the military camos could have been crushed down to at least like 1,000 headshots and not 2,000. And opal should have been crushed down to like 10 specials or 5 specials even. Fuck it, because it's already time consuming enough to go for one of these mastery camos, and doing both, and it's like, oh, these are gonna take forever. And on top of that, knowing that they're going to release DLC weapons that you probably also want to get, and having to go through the mastery grind again for whatever weapon that is, makes that prospect seem much less appealing than it otherwise probably should be. But I will say though, the camos that you do get, like I said, are very, very good looking. It's funny how the Olympia is in this game, but they didn't add the M14 because obviously, you know, it would be funny to like feed into the M14 versus Olympia gang thing. But yeah, I just realized that with the next game probably having carry forward like NW2 and 3 did. Again, I don't think that's confirmed yet, but I mean, it would be weird if they didn't do that, considering they're doing the direct sequel the next year thing. But yeah, maybe in the next game they'll add the M14 or some sort of futuristic style M14 with a similar name, because yeah, it's kind of weird that they didn't like feed on that sort of like community joke, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. All right, double points at the end of the round. You'll love to see it. I really wish there were like your combat record would show your time in multiplayer versus zombies, but I don't think there's a day or hour count for zombies specifically. I know there is for multiplayer, but for whatever reason, there's not one for zombies. I don't even know if there's a combat record for zombies. I know in Modern Warfare 3 there was, because that's how I was able to tell how many days specifically it took me in terms of hour count, but God, I love this gun with the Deadshot ammo refunds. Oh, it's so good. It's kind of weird in this game. Having armor is more important than having like Juggernog. It's very strange. Get that one. I'm gonna run around here and get the other one. There we go. I remember first starting the camo grind in zombies, and this was the map that I remember playing and making a video on. Like, it is very relaxing when you can just run around and play the game, but then you have to get to camo steps where you have to grind specific zombies, and it's like, oh, gotta go Liberty Falls. Again, I get the idea that the grind is supposed to be done over a longer period of time, but I'd be surprised if somebody like just playing matches casually would be able to unlock this, considering things like elites spawning and even special zombies spawning more frequently than that. You know, I feel like it doesn't happen at a regular enough interval for like lots of progress to be made. But I don't know. And we're gonna come over here and put in this code and do math that I totally actually know how to do. And I'm not pulling a website on my out of the monitor to plug these symbols in. 33, 5, and 1. Yep, totally did that math in my head. There you go. Yeah, math was never my strong suit, even in school. Don't blame me. But yeah, with this camo grind all said and done, you know, it did take me way longer than it should have, obviously, because there were lots of times where I was just like, it was almost mind-numbing to a point. You know, having to get that many headshots, having to get that many special zombie kills, it just took forever. You know, there were times where I would just like sit AFK and be like, do I really want to do this right now? And a lot of the times I would say no, but is there armor here somewhere? Where's the blue armor at? I think it's down here somewhere. What was I just talking about right now? I don't remember. Come over here, put this in there. And I have most of this Easter egg memorized because I did do it relatively recently with a friend. But a large portion of this is also just doing the Wonder Weapon quest. So, oh yeah, and I remember what I was going to say now that this grind is, you know, over and done with. There were a few weapons that I wish I had done instead. You know, looking back on it, you know, the Essex model came out recently, and I will say that gun is like cool. I like lever action like carbines like that, but yeah, that gun is not super great. You know, taking it into higher rounds like 40s to almost 50, it was like, yeah, that gun was not doing much, which sucks because again, I really like how the gun like feels to use and how it looks and everything. But yeah, and the FAMAS as well, which is like, it's just an assault rifle. It's like a really cool looking assault rifle. But yeah, I did thankfully still do the Olympia instead of something else. So, you know, I did mix some of the DLC guns in with the vanilla guns as well. But now that this is over and done with, I am kind of excited in a sense to like go play multiplayer again. You know, like I mentioned in the last video, I've been watching some people go through the older camo grinds in the game or in Call of Duty, you know, mainly starting with like Black Ops 4 and going into Modern Warfare and, you know, Forward and all that. But yeah, I don't know. I've been so detached from like the multiplayer side of this game for like I said at the beginning, literally like 4 or 5 months at this point, that I'm kind of curious to see like how the DLC maps and everything are like feel compared to the vanilla maps, because the vanilla maps for the multiplayer in this game they're not great. I think there were like a handful that are pretty good. I remember was it Scud? That's a pretty decent map. And I'm not counting the face-off maps, because obviously the face-off maps are like just go shoot enemy when you spawn. spawn die, spawn die, spawn die. But I will say I'm glad the maps overall in this game are not very big. You know, there's some Infinity Ward maps that are like medium small map or like medium sized map, and the map is like the size of a fucking 3 football fields. But grab that, and we can make our way to build the Beam Smasher. I'm gonna do the stuff with the Beam Smasher before I get rid of it to roll for the Krakovas or any other strong gun that has some amount of range, because yeah, like I said, there are steps in this quest, mainly the boss fight, that I'm worried about, that like the range on this gun might not cut it. But yeah, season 5 starts according to the timer on like the battle pass and everything, starts in less than a month, or just about a month, I believe, if I remember correctly. So I'm very excited to see the map that we get, you know, Janus Towers, or the Reckoning, which I don't know if that's confirmed that's what it's called, or whether that's still like leaked at this point. I think it might be leaked. But yeah, I'm excited for that map, one, because I want to see how this part of the story ends. There's no way it's going to be like conclusive and everything is going to get wrapped up with a bow, because literally the next game is going to be a continuation of this, which is odd because, you know, in terms of the story, they have to tie up a whole bunch of different story threads, and you know how it links back to the Modern Warfare 3 zombies stuff. And when this game takes place, and when all that game takes place, and all this other stuff that you learn about is like, yeah, they kind of wrote themselves into a hole with this and Modern Warfare 3. It's very strange. But I am excited to see how this part of the story ends, just because the last map was really, really good, not in terms of only gameplay, but also the story as well. Although I'm not really sure why Richtofen looks so much different in the Liberty Falls intro and his in-game model. He looks very different. Here's this. So I believe for this step, I need to turn on this trap and shoot it while being grabbed, because there's a little key card on the ground here. And I get something from it. I don't specifically remember what actually it is. But go ahead and kill you. And then I'm going to turn this on and get grabbed by this. There we go. I was worried I messed that up there for a second, but no, we got it. And this is the parts of the Easter egg that I don't know what to do anymore, so I'm going to actually refer to my guide that I have here. I should probably buy some perks. Although I probably actually want to save up until for like, at least like pack 2. I wonder if the Olympia is viable in Warzone as like a weapon, because it can be your secondary weapon, because it's technically a special weapon. Not that I play Warzone at all or anything like that, but just, I don't know, because I feel like messing around with it would be funny to do. But okay, I have to take this back to Peck, which I believe he is by the armory, or is he by the spawn? I don't know why my voice just cracked there for a second. 25 years old, by the way. Here they are. So put that in there, and there's a code on the screen that I have to do something with. But before I do that, I'm gonna get to the end of this round. Ooh, this is bad. I don't know how I managed to get out of that without popping my Aether Shroud, but you know what? We'd love to see it. Like, look at this. It's getting so good. I don't think parasites can evolve into anything on this map, right? Because doppelgangers don't exist. Or did they just become amalgams? That would be fucked up, actually. I believe this is the parts of the thing where I have to go around the map and look for random items that give you a code. So I'll be back when I figure that out. So if you come over here, there's a clock, and the hour hand should be... I can't see what that is. Do I actually need to buy something with a scope on it? Hold on. I can't tell. Are the minute and the hour hand like on top of each other? Is that what's happening? Or is it the red part? Okay. See, because it looks like there's a long hand and the short hand are on top of each other that are both black, because I think the red one is just the seconds, right? But obviously the clock is not moving, so I can't tell. I'm gonna assume that the hands are on top of each other, and that the hour hand is pointing, it's in between 4 and 5, but I'm assuming it's pointing at 4. And then this one should be a playing card in the mess hall here, and it should be is the number of this card, so that's 7. So I'm gonna assume it's 4, 7, and then the last number should be over here where the crafting bench is, and there's a sign that says days injured, and it's 4. So is it 474? I'm gonna assume it's either 474 or 574, and then that will unlock the Nathan mini boss. So I'm gonna actually grind up a little to get to that point. So yeah, whenever I decide to do that, I will be right back. All right, grind a little bit, got my Olympia to purple rarity, got a few more perks, and if we come over here, open this, and wait for this guy to stop making such a big deal, come over here and do this. 474. Yes, that was correct. It's weird. That clock hand was definitely not pointing at a number. It was between 4 and 5, but I got lucky, I guess, and I guessed it correctly. And this is not the Maelstrom or the buffed pistols, so I don't know how well this is gonna do. This gun does a lot of damage, but unless I like get tons of refunded bullets in my magazine, then this might not go as well as I think it's going to. Yeah, I remember I did this with my friend the first time I did this Easter egg, and we both had Maelstroms that were pack punched, and this fight didn't last very long. It spawns. What is this? A Dark Souls boss fight? Whoa. This is doing pretty decent damage, all things considered. Oh. This is fucked up, to say the least. There you go. This is gonna play the cutscene. It is. It fucked your shit up. Yeah, like I said, I'm curious to see how the story in this game is gonna be finalized, I guess, in the next map. I really hope the next map has a unique wonder weapon, because it's rumored that it's going to be a pistol wonder weapon, and people are thinking, you know, if it's a returning one, it's either going to be the Cerberus from Cold War or Alistair's Folly. Although people thought Alistair's Folly was going to be in the last map, so I have no idea. Again, the returning wonder weapons that they do bring back are they're really fun to use, and in the case of like the jet gun where they overhauled it and made it actually good is very nice. But yeah, the swords on Citadel and the beam smasher are really fun wonder weapons. But yeah, I know people have their complaints about this game, whether it be for the zombies or multiplayer or what have you, but I will say I don't think there's a single actually bad map on this game. You know, Liberty Falls, a simple map, it's still a very fun map, and it's like they said, it's the most played map. I don't remember if they said of all time or on this game specifically, but either way, it's a very good simple map with a bit of a boring art direction, but that's neither here nor there. Anyways, Terminus, this map is also very, very good. I like it a lot. It's very atmospheric and different from Liberty Falls, visually speaking. It also has one of the few unique wonder weapons, like I mentioned earlier. And then Citadel is, it's like a lot simpler version of like Dreisendrach. You know, I think Dreisendrach overall, like visually, looks more interesting, but yeah, it is still a really good map. There's nothing that I can quite find wrong with it. You know, it has a fun Easter egg, and the boss fight is very intense and fun to do. And the tomb, I don't hate the tomb. It's another small map, which again, it's not a bad thing inherently, and it does have one of the hardest boss fights in this entire game. I think it would have been cool if the map was, you know, slightly bigger, but it was like way more vertical, because, you know, it's like a giant hole in the ground. I don't really get the feeling of like, you know, you're descending into a tomb under the earth or anything like that. I mean, obviously that's literally what you're doing, but I mean, it would have been more pronounced, I guess, if it was like way more expansive. And I'm an idiot. I have to find something in the water here really quick. Over here, and they said under the water is a golden key card. Yeah, it says under one of the bridges is a golden key card, and it's right there, literally in front of my face. Okay. Grab that. And I probably should save for Pack Punch, but I think what I'm going to do is buy tier 3 armor instead, if I can fucking find it. And then the next thing we need to do is go to the ship and do a little lockdown sequence. But yeah, I don't hate the tomb. It's definitely a smaller map, and it's not exactly what, you know, everybody wanted, but I don't think there's anything like objectively bad about the map, so to say. And then Shadowed Vale, I think Shadowed Vale is like unanimously considered like the best map in this game, at least so far. You know, you have the really compelling story payoffs and everything, and then in terms of the gameplay, you have the Ray Gun Mark II, which is a returning wonder weapon, which I would usually consider like a negative overall, but it does have the unique upgraded variants that are very, very cool. And obviously the Wonderwaffe is actually on that map, which I've never actually gotten the Wonderwaffe on that map, which is funny to think about. And if I die during this, I'll eat a hat. Although with this gun, if I do die during this, I might need to just delete my entire Activision account. And yeah, the boss fight, obviously being a zombie T-Rex, is super over the top and ridiculous, but super cool at the same time. What is happening outside, by the way? I'm noticing like noises and the screen is shaking. Oh, hello. That's messed up. Why would you spawn an amalgam in here? That's just mean. And frankly, I don't deserve that. But yeah, come down here, and then I need to take the nodes to random spots on the map that need to be repaired. I think I know where one of them is, but yeah, I'm probably gonna have to look into that again. But if I remember correctly, one of them should be over here. But yeah, I would be surprised if the next map comes out and it's not at least like decent. Now, obviously, you would hope the final map would be like probably the best map, but you know, at that point maybe that's just wishful thinking. But I don't think there's a bad map in this game. Okay, I have one zombie, so it's not that one. That one already has a connector in it. So if the next season starts in, I'm assuming probably the end of July, right? Beginning of August. I did not mean to kill that zombie. Well, shit. All right, one of the locations can be next to Speed Cola. Okay, hold on. Let me go check that really quick. But yeah, I know this game gets a lot of shit. Some of it rightfully so, but I feel like this is probably like the best Call of Duty overall that we've gotten in a while. But because of just controversies with it and, you know, grievances that people just have with the game overall, you know, people give this game a lot of shit. So okay, just spawn 10 bazillion zombies out of a single window. Okay. They said it was by Speed Cola, but I'm trying to figure out. Oh, it's right here. Do I have to hold F on this or can I just stick it? All right, there we go. Okay, and the one other one should be on Crab Island, which is a location that I completely forgot existed because it's called Crab Island. I forget I'm on round 20. There's a ton of zombies. Holy shit. You know, with things like, you know, the controversies with like, you know, the AI art and the voice actors changing and whatnot, because you know it's crazy to think about. When this game came out, everybody was like in love with this game. It had a decent campaign, the multiplayer was good, if a bit, you know, flawed. Looking at you, fucking recon specialty, whatever it's called. Yeah, I feel like people are, you know, with those controversies and then the like just over the top goofy stuff in the item shop just sort of like deteriorating the identity, quote unquote, of the game, which I don't have an issue with like goofy skins and shit in the game, but like some of this more recent stuff is kind of like, okay, this is like, even for me, is like pushing it a bit. Like, do we really need to have straight up cartoon characters in Call of Duty? I don't know. I think what would be like ideal would be if there was like a filter button that you could just press in your settings to like enable only default skins. Now, it would kind of suck if you also had to use a default skin if you turn that on. So I guess you could use whatever skin you want, but everybody else that you saw would be able to, you know, just be default people. Oh, I'm on Crab Island. Okay, I forget where this is actually. I think it's over here actually. I don't know why I drove all the way to the other side of the island like a maroon. Why are there still so many zombies left? Did the round flip? I don't think it did. Oh. Anyways, yeah, I feel like if this next Call of Duty does have carry forward, which I feel like it should, it's gonna be sort of jarring seeing all these goofy skins running around the game like when it launches.
Sacrificed herself to save your world.
Yeah, may she rest in peace.
Thank you, Peck. Also, a side note on just, you know, talking about all the maps. I've mentioned this. I can speak English, I promise. I've mentioned this before, but I don't think there is a bad Easter egg song on this game. I love all of them, actually. Where's the guard tower? Is that the guard tower? Can you even go over there? Am I stupid? I have to go back to Peg. That's called the guard tower? Really? Anyways, yeah, I don't know what to describe the music genre as that they used in this game specifically for the Easter egg songs, but it's not like straight up like heavy metal like the older songs would be, I guess. Although Dig is pretty metal, I will say. And I believe what we have to do with this device is hack buoys in the water. And I really don't need this beam smasher. Maybe I should start rolling for some type of akimbo pistol that I have. Preferably the Grakovas. But is the box underground? I think it is. Oh no, it's in here. Yeah, I should probably save for pack 3 and then go for that. On one hand, I really do like, you know, a very stringent like military aesthetic in like Call of Duty. You know, every game launches with like not tons of, if any, crazy skins. Am I crazy? Is this not the hacking step? I should be able to, or do I have to? This is slightly confusing. I think I need to go to the boat and then I can start hacking stuff. Anyways, yeah, I'm not opposed to like goofy stuff or having like a strict military art style to the game, but you know, I feel like people would take the game seriously and not have it basically be a joke if, you know, there weren't super goofy shit like Beavis and Butthead and cartoon characters. But see, on the other hand, though, they've done collabs with like Attack on Titan, and with stuff like that, they had characters in the game wearing outfits from the anime, and it's like, I don't know, maybe it's just the character that they chose specifically, but I feel like people were hoping that it was like, oh, like an actual anime character in the game, because that's like the whole point, is that it's an anime. But so I can go either way on that. Can I? How do you? Oh, there is no prompt. You just do it. Okay, I see. Now, I know there's one there. Is there one over there? I can't tell. Does the buoy show up on the map? I actually have no idea. And I can't actually check because I don't have my map key bound. It pulls up my weapon stats instead. That's slightly inconvenient. Do this. And get ass blasted by parasites. And then the last one should be over here. Now this is going to be slightly nerve-wracking because I think immediately after this you have to go do the like disarm bomb step inside the lab area. Where is this last one at? Should be over here somewhere. There it is. Do this. Come over here.
Connection established. Overriding submarine control.
In your fucking face, Modi.
Damn you. So, you convinced the synaptic algorithm module to assist you. Well, I have a little remote control surprise of my own.
Does this timer start immediately? If it does, that's going to be real inconvenient.
Activate Apocalypse Protocol.
Arming self-destruct system. Commencing countdown to thermal.
That sounds bad. I need to get down there like right now.
Island will soon be vaporized.
Yep, there it is. Okay. I don't think this is actually super difficult to do, although I need to make sure I don't fucking die trying to do it. There's one here. How long does this take? This takes a little bit. Do this. This is the only one of these that I have. I wish I should have equipped in plain sight. Oh, I don't know why that scared me, but it did. Do this. I might need to stick some of these and just tank this. I can probably do this one. Come on, come on, come on, come on. And that one's done. That's an amalgam. That's bad. Okay. Is there a crafting bench in here? I feel like there should be. Also, are there 4 or 5 of these? I don't actually remember from like the videos that I've watched. So you need to die, sir. You're dead. Where are the other ones at? I think, is this the last one? Oh, they're getting closer. I'm probably going to start getting thwacked right now. Yep. I probably could have made this easy for myself with a bit more prep. I didn't know this was going to start immediately. Okay, yeah, that wasn't that hard. And I believe this is the last step before the boss fight.
I'm directing Dr. Modi's submarine to the docking area.
Splendid. The door to the dock is on the lower floor of the biolab. Roll out the welcome wagon. Just don't damage my warheads.
And the door should be, is it downstairs or is it, I think it's downstairs. Yeah, it's right here. So yeah, it starts the final encounter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep a little bit more, probably at the very least get my gun fully upgraded and buy a bunch of perks and everything. So yeah, when I get that done, I will be right back and gonna watch more Jev while I do that. So yeah, 1 second. All right, here we are back on round 32. I've gotten basically all the perks that I want. I've upgraded both of my weapons fully, and I actually ended up getting the Grakovas and upgrading them as well. This camo looks so good. The camos in this game look so good. I wish they didn't take so long to fucking get. Please, Treyarch, for the next game, please, like, don't make it easier. Just make it, like, not annoying. I don't know what the right word is, but yeah, probably not the most efficient I could be, you know, getting to this point where I want to do the boss fight, but you know, whatever, it's fine. And success or failure, this is going to be the video. I'm not going to redo this because this is more so to talk about, I almost called it Borealis, Nebula, and just to showcase it a little bit. This camera looks so good. But yeah, we're gonna go into the boss fight here and just see how it goes. Like I mentioned, I have not done any of the Easter eggs in this game besides Liberty Falls by myself, so this is gonna be an interesting experience. I'm not sure if this is like just going on a tangent really quick while this happens. I'm not sure like what is up with my PC, because it's like I have a pretty decent computer, but I feel like it's not performing as well as it should. I have a 3080, a i9 12900K, and 32 gigs of RAM, and like I feel like I can't really play games at 1440 above 60 because like my other monitor where I have YouTube will randomly start like dropping frames, especially if I up the frame rate limit to like 90. It'll start like really shitting itself. But how much damage does this do? Oh my god, it counts as a crit spot. Oh my god, which makes sense obviously, but holy shit. Oh, this might be over faster than I thought it might be. Now, I don't know if you have to kill the tentacles or not, or whether you just have to survive. Let's see. All right, well, that one's dead. I love giant crit spots that I can dead shot refund with. It's so good. I really hope the next zombies experience in Black Ops 7 does not drip feed us the shit we already have in this game. That would be really disappointing. Like if they want to like not carry over all the augments, that's fine. But like, you know, if they have a different progression system with different upgrades, you know, I feel like that would be okay. Oh, no, you just have to just survive. Okay, good. All right, what is the weak spot here going to be? Oh, max ammo. Yoink. You want to come to the center, buddy? Oh, good. He's coming to the center. I forget where his weak spot is. I think it's just his mouth, actually. Oh, my God. I thought I was out of the way of that. I guess not. You know, Peachy would have been useful there. Oh, my God. Look at the damage. Holy damage. I love this gun. And Deadshot. Ow. There you go. Getting a little dicey there, but we're still alive. I have yet to go down. However, I am running into a armor plate issue. I didn't think the Olympia was going to be able to damage anything at range, but I have been thankfully proven wrong. I was worried I was going to have to spam Krakovas. Wow, that hit me from really far away. I'm just going to do that. Do we have any armor plates in chat? Holy shit. Alright, next phase. Oh, this is bad. Wow, I almost died there. That's unfortunate. But thankfully, I haven't used my Dying Wish yet. I have a feeling it's about to pop right now if I don't get armor. Oh, there's a lot of zombies. Holy shit. Ugh. Now, thankfully, I have tons of money to buy ammo if I do run out. However, with Deadshot, that shouldn't be a problem. I need to get rid of this amalgam, wherever the hell it is. And these manglers. I need to throw this. Okay, he did his giant AoE, and thankfully it didn't murder me. That's good. Ow. Did it kill the amalgam? Holy shit. Okay, I thought I was safe because that grab came out already, but I guess not. That's an amalgam. Alright, this is bad. Dive into the water. Okay. Coming up here might not be a good idea, but we're still alive, so it's fine. He should be dead here in just a second. Oh, he stopped his thing. That's another amalgam. Alright. This is not good. Oh. Wow, I can't believe that didn't hit me. Wow, he just murdered that amalgam. Holy shit. Thanks, guy. I appreciate that. Ow. Do we have any crit spots in chat? There we go. Oh, man, that was more stressful than I thought it would be. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a big fan of the bosses exploding into a bajillion pieces when you fight them. This one and the Citadel one being the ones that do that, obviously. Is it raining blood? I think it's raining blood. That's hilarious. I feel like I'm playing Bloodborne. But yeah, that is my unlocking Nebula video and my Terminus Easter egg solo video. This video is probably going to go up late unless I can edit it and upload it within an hour because I have to go to work. So I remember this cutscene, like people beating the Easter egg and seeing this cutscene when this game came out and it revealing the Sentinel artifact and people losing their minds because Black Ops 4. And yeah, I don't know. I might make a retrospective video on zombies and multiplayer like separately closer to the release of of the next game. But yeah, I'm looking forward to not having to grind my ass off for camos anymore. But yeah, sometime soon here, we should be getting information about Season 5. I can speak English. I'm curious to see what weapons and things they're going to add for, you know, the send-off for this game. There's not going to be a Season 6, right? There's only a few months left before November. And with the next map probably being the last map, I don't think they would do another season after that, although we'll see, I guess. I've only been recording this bit for 11 minutes. I started the recording like right before the boss fight, and that only took like 11 minutes. That felt like an eternity. Yeah, it's funny. I probably could have done this way earlier than round 32, but I thought I would need the Gorkovas and I just didn't. That's actually kind of funny. Let's continue and get all my goodies. Oh, ray gun. There's no pack-a-punch crystal on the floor. I used it for the knife. I'm an idiot. Anyways, yeah, it took about 2 hours. I should have done this earlier because now I'm not going to have time to actually edit the video fully, but whatever. It's fine. But yeah, I don't know if I'm like overestimating how strong my PC actually is or should be. But I remember getting my computer and having it like perform really well, and definitely not in the position to do a full PC upgrade. Maybe it's a heating issue or a cooling issue. I'm not sure. But yeah, if you come over here, there's actually 19 days left. It's closer than I thought it was originally. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video and you want to help support the channel, then leaving a like and subscribing would be very much appreciated. I'm going to edit this video as much as I can. I doubt I'm going to be able to edit the whole thing in time before I go to work. But yeah, before this video goes on any longer than it probably should, I'm going to go ahead and end the video there. So later.
Straight away, go my way, let the nonchalant be command dance to themselves.